Hi everybody, Ryan Balgi with Golf News Net. Thanks for checking out our channel once again. So for this video we're doing a review, and we're doing a review of Tour Edge equipment. As you've probably known if you watched my videos over the years or follow me on social media, you know I'm a fan of Tour Edge, a big fan of their Exotics line. I've had Exotics 3 woods in my bag for the better part of the last 5 years. It's just a big win to have it in my bag, and I love the brand for it. And we're doing a little something different though with this review, because Tour Edge has done a little bit something different for their 2019 product offering. Within the Exotics line, which is that name that Tour Edge has that gets the most obvious recognition when you mention it in golf circles, they've created a value line, and that line is called the Exotics EXS line. And the goal with the EXS line is to have taken as much modern technology as possible, cramming it into a driver, fairway wood, and hybrids, and not just throwing it in there, but making sure it performs together as a package, and then selling it to you, the consumer, at the lowest possible price. Not gouging you with a $500 or $600 driver, not making you pay more than $300 for a fairway wood, or even approaching that figure with a hybrid, but instead selling a driver for $300, selling fairway woods for $230, and selling hybrids for $200. Very reasonable prices that most every average golfer looking to buy modern equipment can afford, and they can have up-to-date technology, modern design, and good materials in their bag for a reasonable amount of money. So for this review, we're going to take you through primarily the fairway wood and the hybrids, and we'll show you the performance of those on the launch monitor, and then we'll come back and tell you a little bit more about everything in total as a complete package.
The Exotics EXS driver has a couple of different weight ports on it. So does the 3 wood. You have one that's based in the heel, and you have one that's based in the back, one more weight in the other. So if you have it in the heel, you're obviously trying to create a draw bias. You can do that pretty easily. And then if you don't need that additional draw bias, then you can throw that heavier weight in the back and lower the CG a little bit. You have the slipstream sole. Through this, obviously, you're not hitting a lot of driver off the deck, but it is for a consistency. You have some panels of carbon tech involved here that you've got to like. That's part of the modern technology package you expect these days. And then if you kind of look over it, it's got that Exotics E on it. You can see the obvious carbon tech, and you can kind of see a little bit in the contouring that it looks a little bit different than a traditional driver in where it kind of peaks in the crown. And you'll see that a little bit more if you stand over it. But the one thing you are going to notice about this right away is that there's plenty of offset. I mean, if you kind of put it down on the ground and line it up, you can kind of see it. It's closed. And this is for players who don't necessarily drive it all that straight with the driver. That's why you've got that heel weight. That's why it's designed to help you out. However, if you're a better player, this is something you have to think about. There aren't adjustments to really open up this face dramatically. There's really not a whole lot you can do about it. So if you are a better player who hits the ball straight and you're still interested in that Tour Edge Exotics line, you got to look elsewhere. I don't think this is going to be the right play for you. However, if you're a player who doesn't hit the ball dead straight every time, who doesn't like to hit a draw, who tends to hit a fade, then this is an absolute perfect club for you, because not only does it have great value in terms of the price point, again, under $400, but also it has technology in there designed to help you hit the ball a little bit straighter. All right, looking at the Exotics EXS 3 wood that we have here, you've obviously got the slipstream sole. That's a big part of everything that Exotics does, Tour Edge does through the Exotics line. Again, like in the 3 wood or the driver, you have 2 weight ports here. You've got one in the heel for a draw bias. You've got one here in the back. You can kind of throw the heavier weight in there to lower that CG and help you get that ball in the air. This is a hyper steel cup face. So this is a very high strength steel. You kind of find this in a lot of premium products. The face is not all that deep compared to peers in the space. I think it's kind of a medium one, to be honest with you. And if you look at the overall profile of it, once we kind of take you down to ground level, you can see it's kind of deep. I mean, this is a confidence-inspiring 3 wood. And the point of this is to get you to be able to stand over the ball, whether it's on the tee, whether it's from the fairway. I feel like you got a lot of mass behind the ball, and there's no way you're going to miss it. So here we've got the Exotics EXS hybrid. I went with the 3, the 19 degree. Again, same thing, slipstream sole. We don't have 2 weight ports in this. 1, because I think that's kind of preposterous, and 2, because you just don't really need that in an iron replacement. You need weight back more than anything so that you're able to launch the ball high. We've got some very nice looking features on it. This is not a carbon fiber piece. It's just a kind of decorative piece. It's lower weight, but it's not carbon fiber tech. And then you've kind of got the face on it. Again, fairly deep, not incredibly deep, but if you take it kind of all to ground level, you can kind of see the look of it. A little bit of an offset, not a lot. It looks like there's probably more loft there than there is. It's a little bit deeper, so it feels like it's a fairway wood, but it's not really. And I think that's the kind of thing a lot of golfers who are in this line are looking for. They're looking for some confidence, but not something too bulky, not something too game improvement-y. So just enough so that you can feel a little bit better over the ball, especially if you're trying to get to maybe a long par 4 and 2, trying to get to a par 5 and 2 from the rough. One of those types of situations, you're going to feel good using this club. All right, so this 3-wood has a little bit more of a deep head, deep length profile to it. It's not compact. It's bigger. It's meant to inspire confidence. The EXS line is meant to inspire confidence. That's why the hybrid is a little bit deeper, looks more like a metal wood. That's why the driver has an offset. That's why this has a deeper face. That doesn't mean it's bad at all. It just means you got to know what you're expecting. And you got these couple of weights, so you can move it with a little bit of draw bias, or you can have it just kind of move the weight back and push that CG a little bit lower. But you've got the hyper steel cut face. You've got the carbon tech. So there's a lot working in this that's designed to help you get the ball up in the air and get it straight, depending on what you do. Now it does sit a little bit closed, so that's something you have to consider. Again, that's not my big bag. I don't love things that sit closed because I want to hit a draw. So if I'm hitting a draw and it's already closed, I kind of change my mind on things. But it doesn't sit really closed, it looks that way to my eye. But to the average person, I don't think you're really going to notice a whole lot. Yeah, it's solid, good feel to it. It actually sounds less drivery than the hybrid. A little dig on that one. I rarely hit 3-wood spin the fairway, so for a lot of folks, this is kind of their club to get to places on par 5s. For me, this is a club I maybe hit once every couple of rounds. I really like the slipstream sole. I've always liked that about the Exotics 3-woods. They don't have it on the CPX line, but they have it here, and it just helps you get through the turf. It really does. It's like baffler rails. They're great. One last one here. What I really like about this hybrid is it's a little bit bigger. My 2-iron the replacement is small. Every once in a while I need some confidence, hitting a long one, especially out of the rough. You just feel like you're going to dig after it. I don't like that. And I had kind of vowed away from hitting these kinds of clubs. But for some reason, standing over this, when I've hit it the times I have, and other people that have had hit it on the range with me, they love it. It just feels solid. It feels good. It has a good pop to it, good sound. It feels like you're hitting something that's going to go a long way. It also feels a little bit more compact in length. It feels a little more upright too. I mean, I tend to kind of hunch over a little bit when I swing, but I can do either. Again, minimal offset, not a ton. Actually kind of lays pretty close to open. Pretty much wherever I hit it on the face, it's going to go pretty well. You know, I hit my 2-iron hybrid, replacement about 260 off the tee, 250 on the ground. If I hit it well, 240 typically. So I would expect this to go about 230.
All right, back here after the driver test and the fairway wood test and the hybrid test. And we wanted to go through some of the results with you, as you can see on the launch monitor, the FlightScope Mevo that we use. So we did some indoor filming and indoor testing so that we had a little bit more of a controlled environment to hit shots, and you can hear and see things maybe a little bit better. But then took those clubs outside on the range with the Mevo and got better data because it works better outside. Played a number of rounds with these clubs before doing this review with the driver, the fairway woods, and the hybrids. And they're good clubs. I mean, I walked away, again, very happy with what Tour Edge had produced, not only in terms of the value, but in terms of just sheer performance. We did another video recently comparing the EXS 3-wood to a CBX 119 3-wood from the same company, same line, same Tour Edge Exotics line. And the CBX 119 had a titanium face, and it's kind of designed to kill spin, and it's about 6 to 8 yards longer than the EXS, but also costs more money. So for a $230 price point with high strength steel, with modern design, with movable weights so you can create a draw bias if you need it, or to move that center of gravity low and back to help you get in the air a little easier, it's comparable to other 3-woods that I've played. And you're not losing distance just because you're paying less money. That's a really remarkable thing, and I think that's an important thing to note about this line. You're not losing yards, you're not losing accuracy. The key thing with anything is to make sure that you get fit for it and you get it done properly. But once you have those things dialed in, if you're a player who isn't necessarily going to be spending an insane amount of money every couple of years to replenish their bag with modern equipment, this is where you want to be. You want modern technology, you want modern design and modern materials, but without that modern price tag. And you got the same kind of performance in the 3-wood as you would other comparable 3-woods in the market. You got the same kind of performance in the hybrids in the marketplace. I tend to not play hybrids. I like iron replacements. But what I really liked about the 3 hybrid in particular is that it kind of felt a little bit shorter compared to a long iron. Not that it was like I was playing Bryson DeChambeau set of everything's 37.5 inches, but the 3 hybrid didn't feel like I was swinging a 3 iron length club. And it made it a little bit easier to control. And I like that a lot because if I'm trying to hit a hybrid of that size and I'm a kind of 10 or a 15 or even a 20, I want to keep the ball in play and I want to advance it as far as I can without having to swing wildly at it. So the EXS hybrids do just that. They give you the opportunity to control the ball, and they give you the opportunity to, with the size and shaping of the head, which is a little bit more toward the traditional end of what you think a hybrid should be, you're able to put the ball in the air and advance it down the fairway. In some cases, you're going to hit the green with it, and you're going to be really happy with that. That's a great result. And so those 2 clubs really worked well for me. I had some friends of mine over at our country club test both the 3-woods and the hybrids, and off camera, pretty much all of them just said, hey, what would it take for me to get this off of your hands? Because they wanted it, because they wanted to play with it. And I think that tells you a lot about a club when you hand it to someone just off the street that you know, sight unseen, haven't told them anything about it, and just let them take rips with it, and they tell you they want it in their bag pretty badly. I think that speaks volumes about the Exotics EXS line. On the driver side, you'll notice I didn't really film anything with the driver. I kind of struggle with the driver. The driver has an offset to it, and so it's a closed face. And so for me, I wasn't able to hit it very straight. I had to make some pretty radical adjustments to it just to get it so I could kind of hit it out there and feel comfortable with it. The driver is not designed for someone like me who, a former plus, kind of hangs around a 2, but more importantly, above all of those things, really loves to hit a draw. In everything that I do, love to hit a draw. So I would be double fighting it when I'm hitting it with a slightly closed face. That all said, the sound on the driver is really good. It's a little bit toward the louder end but it feels powerful and it feels natural as it can. You know, a guy swinging 110 miles per hour with a piece of titanium on the end of a stick. But I like the way that it felt solid at impact. I like that you can make a lot of adjustments to it. The weighting changes that you can make to it were a positive. Those are good things, especially if you're someone who needs a little draw bias in your driver. You get a little bit of shut face with the offset, and you get a little bit of draw bias that you could add into it. So this can really take out the right side of the golf course if you're somebody who struggles with that. I think that's a good thing to keep in mind, especially the $300 price point, where again, you're getting carbon fiber, you're getting that placement all around the cage of the head, you get a solid face insert, you get all kinds of positives out of the product. You just need to know up front that if you hit a draw and you hit a pretty big draw, or you prefer to hit a draw, or you prefer to work the ball both ways, that's kind of in the minority of people, I'm going to tell you, then you may have a problem with this. As I would say with anything I've ever reviewed, make sure you get custom fit. While the stock shaft options in this EXS line are the Mitsubishi Tensai Blue, you have a whole wealth of other options available to you. So when you're sitting down with your fitter, or you're going through your results, or you're trying to figure out what kind of spec you're going to have if you're getting into the Exotics EXS line, make absolutely sure that you have the right shaft for you. That's going to do wonders for your game. And I think it's something we don't talk about enough, but having the right shaft can really revolutionize your driving game. I truly mean that. And if you're not getting custom fit for it, you're doing yourself a disservice and you are spending money without getting the maximum benefit for it. That all said, again, if you're looking to buy a driver, 3-wood, and hybrids, let's just say you're buying 3 pieces. You're going to have a $300 driver, a $230 fairway wood, maybe 2 depending on how you set up your bag, and a $200 hybrid depending on how you set up your bag. You may have more than that. But let's say you just get 3 clubs. For $300 plus $230 plus $200, that's $730. You get 3 really good clubs with modern equipment, modern design, that have plenty of technology to help you find the fairway, get it farther, hit it higher. That's a great deal. So as our friends at My Golf Spy said in their most wanted testing, awarding the EXS driver as the best value, I would award this entire set the best value of 2019 because of what you get for what you pay. And that has really been the MO for Tour Edge in recent years. It's helped them to gain market share. It's helped them to become kind of a niche company with a really cool specific product in terms of their exotics fairway woods to become a more widely purchased, more widely respected company. And I think they're on the right path. So check out Tour Edge. Make sure that they are on your list if you're looking for clubs this year or in future years. But make sure if you're looking this year, take a look at EXS. It's not going to burst your budget, and that might allow you to do some additional things with your game and within your bag. That means you're going to have more fun playing golf. And that's what we're all about here at Golf Newsnet. Thanks for watching so much. Please leave us a comment on social media. I'm at Ryan Ballengio on Twitter. You can find Golf Newsnet on your favorite social media service at the handle Golf Newsnet. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.